Hello everyone. Today I'll start with chapter number 1, that is reproduction in organisms. So what is meant by reproduction? It's a biological process. It's a biological process in which the living organisms give rise to offspring. So it's a biological process in which the living organism give rise to new offspring. So here reproduction, there are two types of reproduction. The one is said to be asexual, second one is said to be sexual. First is asexual. As the name itself indicates, here the living organism that give rise to offspring by single parent without the formation of gametes. Therefore, it is said to be asexual. So, what is meant by asexual? It is a type of reproduction in which the living organism has a capacity to give rise to new offspring by only one parent or a single parent without the formation of gametes. Now coming to the next is the sexual reproduction. Sexual reproduction, it is a type of a reproduction in which the living organism that gives rise to new offspring by two parents with the formation of gametes. That means here what happens, there will be a development or formation of gametes, male and female gametes. These two gametes which are fused to form a diploid structure, that is nothing but it's a zygote. Zygote finally gives rise to new individual. So there are two types of reproduction, asexual from single parent without the formation of gamete, sexual by two parents with the formation of gametes. Sexually reproducing organisms are, first is biparental. That means there is a presence of two parents, one is said to be male, second one is said to be female. Second is gametogenesis. That means there will be a formation of gametes in the reproductive gonads. Therefore, it is said to be gametogenesis takes place. And then after the formation of gametes, what happens? There will be a fusion of male and female gamete. That process is said to be fertilization. So, the sexually reproducing organisms are biparental, presence of two parents. There will be a formation of gametes in the reproductive gonads, therefore it is gametogenesis. Male and female gametes are fused to form a diploid structure, that is said to be fertilization. Fourth point is both mitosis and meiosis takes place. Both mitosis and meiosis takes place. Why meiosis? Because there is a gametogenesis. During the formation of gametes, generally there will be a meiosis takes place. And then the individuals are non-identical. Because why the individuals are said to be non-identical? Because the individuals develop from two parents. As a result of this, what happens? The offsprings are said to be non-identical, and then the division is slow. So these are the diagnostic characters of sexually reproducing organisms. First is biparental, as the name itself indicates, presence of two parents, and then the gametogenesis takes place. That means there will be a development of gametes, and then the fertilization takes place. After the formation of gametes, what happens? These two gametes are fused to form a diploid structure, that is nothing but fertilization. Both mitosis and meiosis takes place and the individuals are said to be non-identical and the division is always slow. Next is, living organisms possess 4 stages. So, first stage is juvenile stage. Juvenile or vegetative stage. So, the living organisms that possess 4 stages. First is said to be juvenile, second is the reproductive stage, third is a breeding or flowering, last is the senescence. Now coming to the first is juvenile stage. In animal, the growth stage is said to be juvenile. In animal, the growth stage period or the stage is said to be juvenile, and in case of plant it is said to be vegetative. Plants alli navu vegetative anta heltive, animals alli juvenile stage, that is nothing but it is the growth period. So, in case of animal, the growth period is said to be juvenile. In case of plant, the growth period is said to be vegetative. So, this is the first stage. Now, coming to the second stage is reproductive stage. Reproductive stage. Second stage is reproductive. So, here it is the end of the growth phase. It is the end of the growth phase in which what happens, the living organisms that undergo both morphological and physiological changes. That stage is said to be, what do you call? Reproductive stage. So, what is meant by reproductive stage? It is the second stage, and here immediately after the growth stage, the second stage is said to be reproductive stage. Here what happens? The living organisms that undergoes both morphological and the physiological changes takes place, that is said to be reproductive stage. Now coming to the third stage is breeding or flowering. Breeding or flowering, animals reproduce themselves to give rise to new offspring, that is said to be breeding. In case of plants, what happen? Here there will be a development of flowers. Coming to the first is breeding. So, here there are two types. One is said to be seasonal, second one is continuous. First is seasonal, second one is continuous breeders. As the name itself indicates, seasonal breeders means animals breed seasonally. Best example is cow, cat, dog, sheep. These are all comes under seasonal breeders. Continuous breeders, as the name itself indicates here also, animals or the organisms breed throughout their reproductive phase. That is said to be continuous breeders. Best example is human beings. So, this is about the breeding. So, what is meant by breeding? Breeding, animals reproduce themselves to produce offspring. So, there are two types, seasonal and continuous. Seasonal breeders means animals breed seasonally, and here the animals breed throughout their reproductive phase or the stage, that is said to be continuous breeders. Now coming to the next is flowering. Plants produce flowers throughout the year. Best example is in case of banana. Some shows seasonal flowering. Best example is mango, and then orange, and then jackfruit. These are all seasonal fruits. So, seasonal flowering. Some are said to be unusual flowering. The best example is bamboo species that produces flower once in lifetime, that is between 50 to 150 years after the flowering it dies. So, therefore, this comes under unusual flowering. Next is Neelakuranji. Also known as Strobilanthes kunthiana. Neelakuranji, known as Strobilanthes kunthiana, it produces flowers once in 12 years. So, these two comes under unusual flowering. Some plant produces flowers throughout the year, some are seasonal and some are unusual. Unusual, there are two examples, the bamboo species that produces flowers once in lifetime, Neelakuranji, also known as Strobilanthes kunthiana, which produces flowers once in 12 years. In non-primates, cyclic changes that takes place in the reproductive tract, that is said to be oestrus cycle. Oestrus cycle that takes place only in non-primates, where there is a brain capacity is less. So, what is meant by oestrus cycle? It is nothing but it is a cyclic changes that takes place in the reproductive tract that is present only in non-primates. The best example is cat, dog, sheep, etc. But in case of primates, cyclic changes that takes place in the reproductive tract is said to be menstrual cycle. Best example is human beings, mammals. So, these two are very important, oestrus cycle and menstrual cycle, cyclic changes that takes place in the female reproductive tract in non-primates, cyclic changes that takes place in the female reproductive tract of primates is said to be menstrual cycle. This is about the third stage, that is breeding or flowering. Next, we will move on to the last stage, that is said to be senescence. Senescence means aging process. So, first stage is the growth stage in animal is said to be juvenile, growth stage in plant is said to be vegetative. After the growth stage, when the growth stage is completed, then it is said to be reproductive stage. Here what happens, there will be the organisms that undergoes both morphological and physiological changes, and after that the breeding or flowering. So, animal breed themselves which produces new offspring. In case of plant, there will be a flowering takes place, and after this there will be a last stage that is said to be senescence. Senescence, it is the last stage. That means it is between this reproductive stage and the death of an organism. It is the aging process in which the living organisms, what happens, the cells now become degenerates and finally results in death. So, this is about the 4 stages of sexually reproducing organism: juvenile or vegetative, that is the growth phase, and then reproductive stage. Both morphological, physiological changes takes place after the growth stage. Then the third is the breeding or flowering. Animals reproduce themselves, which produces new offspring. Flowering, that means it is nothing but the plant produces flowers. Flowers are the reproductive part of the plant body. Last is the aging process. So here what happens, all the cells now degenerates, finally results in death. So this is about the 4 stages of sexually reproducing organisms. Next, we will move on to events of sexual reproduction. There are 3 events. First is pre-fertilization, second is fertilization, last is post-fertilization. Very, very important 5-mark question. So, events of sexual reproduction, the first stage is pre-fertilization. As the name itself indicates, before fertilization. It includes 2 stages. First one is gametogenesis. Second is the gamete transfer. Coming to the first is the gametogenesis. As the name itself indicates, there will be a synthesis of gametes in the reproductive gonads. There are 2 types, homogametic second one is heterogametic. As the name itself indicates, homogametic, similar gametes, organism which produces similar gametes. Therefore, it is said to be homogametic. It is seen in Cladophora. It is an algae. Here, heterogametic, as the name itself indicates, organism which produces 2 different types of gametes, and one is said to be male gamete, second one is said to be female gamete. These male gametes are nothing but antherozoids or sperms, and the female gamete is nothing but egg or ovum. So, this is about the types of gametes: homogametic, heterogametic, similar gametes, dissimilar gametes. Similar gametes, it is seen in Cladophora, it is an algae. Heterogametic, it is nothing but it is present in higher organisms which produces male and a female gamete. Next is sexuality of an organism. Here there are 2 types, monoecious, second one is dioecious. Monoecious, dioecious. Monoecious means here both the reproductive structure. For example, imagine this is the female flower and this is the male flower. Both the reproductive structures that develops on the same plant, then it is said to be, what do you call, monoecious. Both the reproductive structure that develop on the same plant, then it is said to be monoecious. Best example is coconut. In case of coconut, we can see the female flowers that is present towards the base, male flowers present towards the tip. Dioecious means both the reproductive structure develop on the different plant. For example, this is the female plant and this is the male plant. So, both the reproductive structure develops on different plants. So, therefore, it is said to be dioecious. It is seen in papaya. So, sexuality of an organism, it includes monoecious and dioecious. Both the reproductive structure that develops on the same plant, reproductive structure developed on different plant. So, here the best example is coconut. And here the best example is papaya. Next is homothallus and heterothallus. As the name itself indicates, homo, same, thallus, undifferentiated plant body. So, here homothallus means, imagine this is the undifferentiated plant body that is said to be thallus. So, here what happens? Both the reproductive structure, the female reproductive structure and the male reproductive structure that is present within the same thallus. Therefore, it is said to be homothallus. Heterothallus means undifferentiated plant body is said to be thallus, so that the male reproductive structure and the female reproductive structure that develops on different thallus. Therefore, it is said to be homothallus and heterothallus. So, the best example for homothallus is in the lower organisms, that is bryophytes and pteridophytes. Heterothallus, higher organisms, that is gymnosperms and angiosperms. Next is hermaphrodite. Next is hermaphrodite, that means both male and a female reproductive structure that develops within the same organism in animals. So, the best example is sponges, leech, earthworm, tapeworm. These are all comes under hermaphrodite. That means both male and a female reproductive structures that develops within the same animal. Best example is leech, sponges, tapeworm, earthworm. In a flowering plant, unisexual male flowers are said to be staminate. Very important. Staminate means the unisexual male flowers, fertile male flowers are said to be staminate. Like that, unisexual female flowers are said to be pistillate. Unisexual female flowers are said to be pistillate. So, fertile stamen, fertile pistil. Fertile stamen, fertile pistil. Like that, if it is sterile, then it is said to be staminode. Like that, if it is sterile, then it is said to be pistillode. So, staminate means it is a fertile stamen. Staminode means it is a sterile stamen. Like that, pistillate means it is a fertile pistil. Pistillode means it is a sterile pistil. Several organisms belonging to Monera, fungi, algae and bryophytes, they have haploid plant body. But in higher organisms, that is pteridophytes, gymnosperms and angiosperms, what happens? The plant body is said to be diploid. So, in a diploid organisms, there is a presence of specialized cells known as myocytes. Myocytes, these are the specialized cells that is present in a diploid organism which undergoes meiotic division that results in the formation of gametes. For example, in human beings, the chromosome number in the myocytes is 46. So, the haploid number is 23. Like that, there are different examples. You just go through in your NCERT textbook. Next, we will move on to second stage, that is gamete transfer. Gamete transfer. So, first stage is gametogenesis, synthesis of gametes in the reproductive gonads, and here it may be homogametic or it may be heterogametic, similar gametes, dissimilar gametes, and sexuality of an organism, it may be dioecious or monoecious, it may be homothalous or heterothalous. Most of the higher organisms, the plant body is said to be diploid. In a diploid organism, there is a presence of a specialized cells known as myocytes, that is gamete, mother cell which undergoes division, there will be a formation of gametes. So, the myocytes number, chromosome number is always diploid and the gametic is always haploid. Then coming to the gamete transfer. In plant like algae, bryophytes and pteridophytes, water is the media through which the male gamete reaches the female gamete. But in higher organisms like angiosperm, the pollination that takes place through either abiotic or biotic agents. This is about the transfer of gamete. Next, we will move on to the second stage, that is said to be fertilization. It is the fusion of male gamete with the female gamete, that is said to be fertilization. There are two types. First one external, second one internal. External fertilization, fertilization that takes place outside the body of female. Internal fertilization, fertilization that takes place inside the female body, that is said to be internal fertilization. It may be external, present in very few organisms, internal, present in almost all the higher organisms, that is said to be fertilization. So, first stage is pre-fertilization, that means before fertilization. There are two events takes place, gametogenesis and then gamete transfer. Second stage is fertilization. Here the fertilization, it is a fusion of male gamete with the female gamete. It may be the external fertilization or it may be the internal fertilization. Next we will move on to the last event, that is post fertilization. Third event is post fertilization. As the name itself indicates, event that takes place after fertilization. Therefore, it is said to be, what do you call, post fertilization. So, in the second event, the fertilization, what happens? There will be a fusion of male gamete with the female gamete that results in the formation of zygote. Now, this zygote undergoes division, differentiation, to form multicellular structure that is said to be embryo. The formation of embryo, multicellular embryo from the diploid structure, this is said to be embryogenesis. This is the first stage. So, what is meant by embryogenesis? It is the formation of embryo from diploid structure, that is said to be, what do you call, embryogenesis. Zygote develops inside the embryo sac. So, now this zygote undergoes division and differentiation that results in the formation of a multicellular structure that is said to be embryo, and then ovary develops into fruit. Wall of the ovary develops into pericarp, that is nothing but fruit wall. And then primary endosperm nucleus. It is a triploid nucleus. Now this triploid nucleus finally gives rise to endosperm. It is a nutritive tissue in a seed. And then the ovule finally gives rise to seed. So these are the events that takes place after fertilization. So I repeat, after fertilization, zygote now develops inside the embryo sac. This diploid structure, zygote, undergoes division, differentiation, results in the formation of a multicellular structure that is said to be embryo. Ovary develops into fruit, wall of the ovary develops into pericarp, and then the triploid nucleus, this is said to be triploid nucleus, that is primary endosperm nucleus, finally gives rise to a nutritive tissue that is said to be endosperm. Ovule now develops into seed. Next is oviparous and viviparous. Oviparous and viviparous. Oviparous, egg laying animals or organisms. Best example is reptiles and birds. Here what happens, the egg is covered by a calcareous layer so that it gives protection. And then viviparous, organisms that give birth to young ones. These are said to be viviparous. The best example is mammals. In viviparous organism, the young ones are developed inside the female body after attaining certain stage of growth, and the young ones are delivered so that the parental care is more. As a result of this, the chances of survival of viviparous is more when compared to oviparous. And the last is parthenogenesis. Parthenogenesis, it is the formation of individual from female gamete without fertilization, that is said to be parthenogenesis. And then the example is rotifers and insects. So far we have understood what is meant by reproduction. It's a biological process in which the living organisms has a capacity to give rise to new offspring. So there are two types, asexual, sexual, and sexual reproduction is very important. So here there will be a formation of offspring by two parents with the formation of gametes, and then we studied what are the different stages of sexually reproducing organisms. First is juvenile or vegetative stage, second is the reproductive stage, third is the breeding or flowering, last is senescence. And then we studied the events of sexual reproduction. There are three events. First is pre-fertilization. before fertilization. So what are the events that takes place before fertilization? That is pre-fertilization. There are two stages. The first is said to be gametogenesis, synthesis of gametes in the reproductive gonads, and then it may be homogametic or it may be heterogametic, and homothalous, heterothalous, dioecious, monoecious, and then hermaphrodite. These are all comes under pre-fertilization. And then coming to the next is the gamete transfer. How there will be a transfer of gamete takes place in lower and higher organisms. Second is the fertilization. How there will be a fusion of male and a female gamete that takes place. It may be external fertilization or it may be internal fertilization. Last is the post fertilization. What are the changes that takes place after fertilization? That is said to be post fertilization. And here the two important events, the first is the formation of a zygote, second is said to be zygote now finally gives rise to a multicellular structure that is said to be embryo. Primary endosperm nucleus that finally gives rise to a nutritive tissue that is said to be endosperm, and then the ovary develops into fruit, ovule develops into seed, the wall of the ovary develops into fruit wall that is pericarp, and then we studied oviparous, viviparous, egg laying animals and the animals that gives rise to young ones, and the survival chances of this viviparous is more when compared to oviparous. And lastly we studied parthenogenesis, formation of individual from female gamete without fertilization. So this is about the first chapter, that is reproduction in organism. I hope you understood this session or the chapter, very small chapter, that is reproduction in organism. Thank you.